Hi everybody, welcome to codezing.org. We're going to do a level 1 project called Cleanup. Let's go over to the website and grab the code. So if we head to codezing.org, level 1 code, and we're going to do Cleanup. So what is this going to do? It's going to take a message that we input and then sort it in alphabetical order. If we type in a test message, here is a message, and we submit it, it cleans it up, and you can see it sorts the HEGIMRS. So kind of cool. I think in Python it's sorting it, but the capitals are distinct from the lowercase. So let's try a test message, and if we do that, you can see it's sorting. It'll sort the capitals and then sort the lowercase separately. I have some little test ones over here. Just try to, if you could put in a message and then try to say it. I don't know how to, I'm not even going to try. Here's one with each letter of the alphabet. There's probably more out there. If you find one, email it to me. That'd be cool to add. But you can see it has every letter, A, B, C, D, E, all the way to Z. Cool. Alright, so let's get the code, see how that works. You can click on the little pop-up, or you can click on the View Python code. Will open it in another tab on your browser. This other one will download a Python file. It does give you a little warning because it is an executable, software code file. Somebody could put something dangerous in it. So it just gives you a little warning. Obviously there's nothing dangerous in any of these files, but you can click keep if you want a downloaded version. But we'll just do this. We'll copy all the code out of here, and then we'll paste it into our Spyder IDE. If you don't have Spyder, head back to the website. You can download Python and download Spyder. There's instructions, videos, and it'll show you all the steps. It's easy and free, so make sure you do that before you can start working on these. So let's dissect this a little bit. Well, first, why don't we just run it? Make sure it's working. Here is my message. Sure enough, it sorted it out for me. Cool. Alright, so the line number 1, we've used this one quite a bit if you've looked at the other projects. We're just using this to get the input from the user. So it displays this text string over here to the console. Right, type your secret message to clean. You can obviously change what's in here to anything you want, and that is what it will type out. But obviously you want something a user can understand what they're supposed to do. So let's reverse that. All right. So type a secret message, and what it's going to do in the next step is create a blank string, an empty string. So we're calling this variable the clean message string, and it's equal to just blank, nothing. There's nothing between the quotes. That's because we're going to add the letters to this blank string and kind of build it up in this for loop down here. This clean message list equals sorted message. So it's taking this variable message, which we've set to be whatever the person inputs. It's going to take that and it's going to sort it. And Python has kind of an embedded way of trying to sort things alphabetically, and as we saw in the example, it does capitals first and then lowercase, and you can play around and see where symbols come in, or numbers, whether it prioritizes those over capitals and lowercase. Maybe we can just try it real quick and see. And then some symbols. Let's see what it does there. Looks like it does symbols, then numbers, although it does put the at symbols after the numbers, and then the lowercase. And I think if we had put uppercase, it goes before lowercase. Anyhow, you can play around with that and see how it sorts all the different characters. Once we assign the sorted message, which is really just, it's a list of all of the letters that are in the message in the sorted order. But in order to be able to access that, you would think like you just do print clean message list, and you would think, oh, it's already it's sorted that message. So you should be able to do it like that. But let's see what it gives back. If we print that, it actually does give you the nice little list. But it separates each letter. You can see it separated the D, the F, the J, the K, and it's sorting each of them in a Python list, which is denoted by these brackets, the square brackets, and each one is separated by a comma, which this is a Python list. And then printing it out down here, this for loop is allowing us to kind of combine that together. So what it's doing is saying for each of the letters in the clean message list, take the clean message string, which starts out blank, and add this letter. So let's use print statements here to get a little clarity on what's going on. So we're going to print the letter. Print, this is the letter. Make that a string. And then print, let's just put a little space in there, and print clean message string. I want a variable, not a string. All right, clean message string is a variable, so I want to print the variable, and then let's just print another spacer in there, and let's watch it work. Message shiny happy people, and so this is a long one. So let's scroll up and see what it's doing. So it's saying here is the sorted list, so we can see that first. That's how Python sorted it into a list. And you can see it's actually is sorting these blanks as well. So the first one is a blank, and so it's saying this letter is a blank. And we had two blanks in there, so it's doing blank, and then the first actual letter it comes to is the A. It's saying we found the letter A, and it's appending it to our variable clean message string, right? And so it's blank blank A, then it finds an E, blank blank E, and blank blank A E E, and you can see it's going one by one and just adding those to the string, which is what we told it to do here. Take the clean message string and then add the next letter, and since it's a for loop, it'll go through the entire list until it reaches the end, and you see it's building it up letter by letter by letter until it finally spits out this last blank blank A E E to the end. So shiny happy people sorted alphabetically comes out a Helnopsy. A Helnopsy? That's what I'm going with, a Helnopsy. Alright, so kind of cool. What else could we do? Could we change here? So you could do, you could print it like vertically. Maybe that'd be cool if you just did like print letter, and then instead of this, let's put it up here. So here's your clean message, but instead of actually giving you the entire message, maybe you could just have it print it vertically. Let's see. Hello, and there it is. Hello, vertically, instead of, because it's kind of running through its printing and then going to the next letter printing, going to the next letter printing, and putting those all on the next line. One thing that's kind of cool I've always liked about Python is you can actually make it print out lots of a string. So if you have a string, you can actually multiply it by an integer, and it will print it out that many times, which I don't know why I like that so much, but let's try it. You can see it goes E with all the H's and the L's. That was kind of cool. Alright, I don't know. What about 1,000 times? Why not? Whoa. Alright, so just a funny thing that I've always liked about Python. You can always change these text strings, because it's just printing this out, right? Say, here are the letters. And then there you go, in a list. If somebody wanted them returned to them in a list, you can have it just print out the list. If people understand what's going on with that, sometimes all the quotes and commas make it seem a little strange. What else? I did want to point out that in this for loop, this guy, this word here, letter, I made it letter because that's what makes sense to me. I think you should always use variable names that make sense, but you can use anything you want for that variable. Like let's say I set this to y equals, and then I sort y. You can do that. Let's do the print letter. So if I do that, I change that variable name to y, and if I do that, it works just fine. Right? That equals y, and it's sorting y. If I leave this as, you know, blob, it's not going to know that you want to sort this variable, right? If I do that, it's going to say, you know, type in your secret message, say name blob is not defined. It doesn't know what blob is, right? But if I set this to blob, then that should be perfectly fine. See, it works fine. So what you want to do with these variables, though, is make them readable for somebody else. You got to assume another programmer is going to come along. They're going to use your code, right? I'm teaching you guys with my code. I couldn't put blob in there. That would be very confusing to everybody, I think. Let's go back a little. So message, and the same thing here with letter. This could be anything, right? I could put cat for cat in clean message, and then do clean message string equals clean message string plus not letter anymore, but cat, and that also will work fine. But it's a little goofy, right? People think cat. Why are we doing cat? Doesn't make sense. Why am I printing out cat? It does work. It's printing out my cats instead of my letters. So just so you know, Python doesn't really care what you name variables. It does care that it has to be one single set of letters, or a continuous string like that. So I use underscores in between. Some people use like capitals. They start with lowercase and then use capitals, but it needs to be something that other people can read. Right, clean message string, that's easy enough with the capitals. If you make it all lowercase, though, it starts getting a little garbled. I personally like the underscores. Separates it a little easier for me to be able to read, but that's just a personal preference. If you do try to do it like that, it's going to get angry. Right, it's going to say, I don't know what this is, because it thinks clean is a variable and then message list is a variable. It can't understand that that's a one variable that you want there. So just wanted to add a little detail, a few little tips for you to be able to start working with. As I've noted in the other videos, if you manage to blow up your code and you just can't get it back on track for whatever reason, you can always go straight back to the website, right? Copy it and just paste it again, and you're back to square one, and you can start playing with it again and try to make something new and cool. If you make something you think is really neat, you want to share it with everybody, feel free to email me the code or send me comments or comment in the video. If it's valuable, useful for other people, really neat, we can add it to the website and I'll give you credit for it, and all your friends can see all your hard work. So have fun with it, play around, good luck.